my nephew's friends, they all had smartphones, and they were playing Pokemon Go.
Right.
And he didn't have anything, and he was walking around the house pretending to play Pokemon Go, holding a piece of wood.
That is so sad.
Really sad.
So,
And then I come along, I'm like, oh, play this tablet, and then it blows their mind.
yeah.
You enabler.
Yeah, I enabled them, and then I regretted it.
Hey, welcome to episode 51 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Saveun
Hey, Nick.
and Blake.
Hey, Nick.
How's it going?
Good.
Welcome back.
Feels good to be back.
New year.
Mm-hmm.
Same old podcast.
Yep. Same old pod hosts.
Yep.
That channel.
How was the break, Saveun? We haven't heard from you. At least the listeners haven't heard from you in about a month and a half. 2
Oh,
months?
yeah. Yep. Break was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listened to some podcasts.
Oh, did you
Got some
listen?
stuff
Did you
done.
listen to our D&D podcast?
Yes, I did. It was okay.
That's good. We aim for okay. It's exactly the target demographic we're going for. Is just people who want it to be okay. Now, Saveun had an idea earlier before the podcast. We should talk about the games we liked and didn't like last year.
It was actually Blake's idea.
It's Blake's idea.
Oh, shit. So if it's bad, blame me.
I wasn't involved, no matter what. So, I'll get us started.
Yep.
I quite liked Overwatch.
Yep.
I didn't play a huge amount of it though.
Really? Why
Yeah.
did you like it then? Like, why did you...
It was just a solid
Yeah.
game. It was a solid shooter with good mechanics and
I would have sworn you would have said... Oh, well, I suppose Hearthstone is 2 years old now, right?
Hearthstone's like 3 or 4 years old now.
Is it?
Yeah, it came out in like 2013.
Holy shit. Okay.
Um,
Never mind.
Path of Exile though was also great last year.
Oh, yeah.
We added a ton of cool stuff,
Mm-hmm.
good leagues. So, game of the year, Path of Exile
Anything you're particularly proud of?
from last year.
From this year? Yeah, last year.
Breach.
Breach was pretty cool. That was a great league. I liked the I'm glad that people liked the Abrath's Hooves item, which is sort of one of the more different items we've ever added. I got to write a lot of dialogue, which I hadn't done before on Path of Exile, so that was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what we're doing this year as well, but can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some really cool stuff coming out.
Yep. Guess you guys will find out soon.
Okay. So Overwatch is your favorite
I think so.
last year?
I can't remember many other games I played last year though. Weird. So
what about that Samarost 2?
Samros 3.
Or 3?
Yeah, that game was cool
Hmm.
and beautiful, but it was also kind of short and pretty simple.
Firewatch?
Oh, Firewatch was great, but was that last year?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was the beginning of last year. It was like February last year, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Firewatch was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Firewatch.
It's great.
But I only played it once.
Yeah, I only want to play it once. I feel like a second playthrough
You think it's gonna
spoils the
remove
first
some of the
one.
magic?
Yeah, it'll
it'll reveal some of the things that the choices didn't matter or whatever? Or
yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But it's
that's a
just that first playthrough was such a I hate to say meaningful experience, but it kind of was.
Yep.
That playing through again just would dull that, I think, that memory.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Played Pokemon Go quite a lot.
Actually, that should be your pick of last year.
It's not like it's the most entertaining game I've ever
But it's
played.
this is the game you played the
it's
most.
a game I play. Oh no, I'd say the game I played the most was probably Clash Royale, which I've now stopped playing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I stopped having fun, and it felt like I was more just keeping up
Yep.
with other players.
You know what you got to
Was
do?
the balance too good? That's when I tapped out.
When
When I would win one game, lose the next 4, win 3, lose the next.
you
The
were-
balance was just.
you were in you found your ranking and you
Yeah.
couldn't get out of it.
Yep.
There was some of that, I guess. Like I was at a very high rank though. I was at like 4,200 or something like that, somewhere around there. which is like very high. But I think more so it was that they kept introducing new units. They've got like a schedule right now where they introduce a new unit basically every 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they've ever publicly spoken about it, but there's clearly like a strong bias towards those new units when you're opening up your chests. So especially if it's a common. So like they introduced elite barbarians like a month or two ago, and then for the next like 3 or 4 weeks, all I was getting out of my chest were like elite barbarians, occasionally another unit, elite barbarians.
How much does that change the meta then? Do you suddenly start seeing more barbarians?
Yes. And in that case, it was particularly bad because initially the elite barbarians were not strong and no one was using them. And then they, in a patch shortly afterwards, they like made them faster, stronger, and tankier. And then everybody was using them. And I think that's around the time when I was like, okay, I think I'm actually done here.
Yep.
Because there was no most units have a few counters, like there are a few reliable ways to counter, any given unit, and you factor that into when you're building your deck. There's not really a clear way to counter elite barbarians. There's ways to prevent them from hitting your tower,
right?
And there are ways to like get a slight elixir advantage when they're on your side of the bridge. Like you can use normal barbarians, which cost 5 versus the elite barbarians, which cost 6, and you'll have like a barbarian left. But then that barbarian doesn't make it to the other side of the tower, and your elixir advantage is minimal. And oftentimes it's easy to then counter the barbarians. Like there wasn't a great path for countering that unit, and there wasn't going to be one for at least another couple weeks when they introduced another unit. And I realized I didn't really enjoy that. It seems like right now they are pretty heavily focused on making the number of units so broad that people who want to play at the elite level have to put a lot of money in.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Well, you were saying how much. I think the last time we talked about this, you were saying you would have to put in like thousands of dollars to get any real headway.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, right now, and I haven't used my account in a few weeks. Most of my units required 2,000 of the cards.
Yep.
To get to the next level. That's pretty insane. Like your typical silver chest, which is the base chest, which is what you get from most matches, gives about, I think, 11 cards at my rank.
Mm-hmm.
So you can extrapolate from there. And keeping in mind that those 11 cards will be from any of the, 60 available types of card.
Yeah.
So
you're really...
It's like 11 times... If it's a common, it's like 11 times 30 times 2,000 or whatever is the amount of time you're going to end up spending.
You're just really grinding it out or paying money.
Yeah.
And a lot of money.
And if you're grinding it out, you really can't miss a chest. You have to basically be on schedule the whole time.
And that's when it becomes not fun, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right.
When it's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it's like when your wins just feel fine and your losses feel bad. That's
right.
That's when I was like, okay, I'm done.
And that's what's good about Overwatch. Your losses feel annoying, but you don't really care that much.
Yeah, you can blame it on other people.
Oh yeah,
it's a team-based game.
I always do. I'm never wrong.
You're always the best player.
I'm never at fault.
And everyone else sucks.
Yeah.
And if you win, it's because of you, and if you lost, it's because of everyone else.
Well, I look at my stats. I've never seen a negative stat on my.
Right. Exactly.
I must always be great.
How about you guys? What have you been playing?
Over the break, I played through Uncharted again.
Oh, nice.
There was like a complete section I missed in that game.
What?
Oh.
It's like when you're in one of the later levels, you can kind of walk around and explore, or you can hang a left and then just go right into this next puzzle.
Right.
And I went left and just missed out on all the other stuff on the right. Yeah, good game. on the Path of Exile website, we've kind of shown off this new water that Alex has worked on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah.
So over the holiday, I was actually checking out water on other video games, Uncharted in particular. They have garbage water.
Really?
Yeah, they have really shit water.
Whoa.
You know who has great water and no one talks about it? Wave Race.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've actually got to check that out.
Wave Race.
What?
Even the Nintendo 64
Yeah, I
Wave
was just
Race
going to say, isn't that
fantastic water.
64?
They had it on GameCube as well, and the water there is obviously better. But, the Wave Race water has always been really quite impressive.
I mean, that is the game.
Yeah.
You guys can big me down, but GTA 5, their water is legit.
Their water's pretty good.
It is really
water's pretty
impressive.
So I started playing GTA 5.
Hold on, let me.
I haven't seen the water yet.
You
Drive
asshole.
to the coast.
I'm looking forward to this.
Right, okay, what you're looking for, because a friend of mine said Forza Horizon's water was good as well.
Okay.
And he showed me that game, and it sucks.
Oh,
and the
shit.
reason is because there's like a normal map that you can run through, and that's pretty much like the bulk of the water. That
Right.
does a lot of the work.
Yeah.
Reflections as well. This
Yeah.
is what The Witcher does. But the signs of good water
Yeah.
are how they treat foam, like the water's foam. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of like Uncharted does this too. Their foam, it will just be like opaque foam. It has like a muddle that'll just like make the foam kind of it'll muddle. It's like a technique that you can do over the texture.
Yeah.
Anyway, and what they'll do to kind of make it the seam less apparent is just like fade out the transparency of the thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so it blends.
Yeah.
But this is like a shitty solution because water doesn't behave that way. It actually
Right.
dissipates.
Yeah.
But
But from first glance,
it looks
without looking
it looks
too much,
awesome.
you're just like, oh yeah, that's water.
Yeah, but they never really show it off like in
Yeah.
front of you. So check out GTA 5 water. It's
Man, I'm so
it's
looking forward to
impressive
it.
for that fact.
Yeah. You've hyped
and-
up the water in this game.
Every other game does the simple, transparent
Yeah.
blend.
Yeah.
And it looks okay because people aren't really paying attention to that anyway. Anyway, Uncharted, good game. After playing it again, I felt like it was more like a showreel for like the people that made the characters. Like it had really awesome characters, pretty good environments,
Yeah.
garbage water.
But their facial stuff was
Oh, yeah.
where it's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
impressive. And Titanfall 2. I finished that
Oh, cool.
last week.
How was that?
Really good. Really enjoyed that. It shows its age. it's
Wait,
just
which Titanfall?
Titanfall 2.
It shows its age.
Yeah, it was made like on an old engine.
Oh,
Like
okay.
technically it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
It's like, man, that was like a few months ago. Like, whew.
yeah, but it's not on like EA's.
By today's standards, ugh.
It's not on that. What is it? Ice whatever.
Oh,
engine. It's not on
yeah,
EA's.
Frostbite?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
not
it?
on that.
Yeah.
The
engine.
dice one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not on that.
Right.
So and I've actually seen wireframes and stuff on ArtStation of
Yep,
people that
yep.
have posted models. So it's not incredible, but fun ass game. It's like a platformer hybrid.
Yeah.
It's really fun, and the shooting feels really good. Story's okay,
That's cool.
Cool.
and then yeah, that was me.
That's cool. What was your game of 2016?
It'd be a toss up between the two.
Not Firewatch?
Firewatch is cool, but it was so far away. Like it
It
I don't
doesn't feel
remember-
like it was, yeah.
yeah. I really enjoyed Firewatch when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Firewatch. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Game of the year.
Nah. Yeah. I don't know. No, it's one of those things that like it's one of those games that stands out for me because it's such a different experience that I still sometimes like think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best walking simulator. to
Yeah,
date.
it totally is.
It's incredible.
It's dude, the term walking simulator like started off as like a derogatory thing, but now it is just like the best way to describe those games. It's like
you know what's crazy is Uncharted, like Naughty Dog are doing more walking simulator type stuff.
Yeah.
Like the entire epilogue in Uncharted is just a walking simulator.
yeah.
Well, I don't mind that so much.
No, it's
because
awesome.
It's an interesting way to get you immersed in the world
Mhm.
and to give you some storyline, right?
Mm.
It's not like it's completely devoid of interactivity.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff used to happen through cutscenes, right?
Yep.
Or like pre-roll information where
Yeah.
it's just told to you. And now, because it's advanced, gaming has advanced to the point where you can just especially with big studios, they can put the resources into building a world where you don't have to play. There's no action there. It's just like exploration and narrative. Storytelling becomes much richer.
Yeah, it's cool because they're just like pushing, pushing the boundaries of what storytelling in video games. Like what can you tell a deep, meaningful thing that moves you in some way in a fucking video game? And
and also like it's showing the strengths of games as a storytelling medium, as opposed to like film and television and books. The interactivity and the immersiveness is really nothing has that. Firewatch, because you're exploring the world and finding the clues and voluntarily using the radio, you are, even though you aren't necessarily writing the story, you are involved in the story unfolding in a way that you watching a film or a television show isn't.
Yeah.
At your own pace too. That's what I enjoyed about it most.
Yeah, it's really cool. Blake,
what do you got?
What you got?
He's got a grin on his face.
I played a bunch of No Man's Sky.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And
I feel like saying that's my game of the year.
God damn it.
But not really.
Right.
Not really for the reason that it's a good game. Is that I really enjoyed all the like bullshit that surrounded that game.
Mm-hmm.
All the the hype leading up to it, and then the crazy disappointment, and then like the whole like Sean Murray lying and all this sort of stuff, and
all of the controversy,
like, everything.
And memes surrounding it.
Everything. It's just what a saga. Like
it
was fantastic.
I can't think of a time when it was as like pronounced as like even the Peter Molyneux stuff, where it was like he said all these features were going to be in here, and they're not. People were annoyed, but they didn't vilify him.
No,
but like Sean Murray was vilified.
Yeah,
he was a game like developer villain.
Yeah,
amongst
it's amazing.
He was the root of all that was bad in the world for a little
I haven't
while.
seen him tweet anything since then. Like Hello Games has started tweeting again, but I haven't seen him tweeting anything. Like it's almost as if he's not the front man anymore.
Yeah,
which is fair enough.
Why would you want to be though?
Yeah,
like when you put yourself out there, especially in a creative medium, if you're the public persona of something, you get in the glory when it goes well, but you also gain all of the all of the bad stuff when it goes down badly. That's a bad position to be in, as I have learned in a small way. But
yeah. But I finished over the holidays. I played a few things over the holidays, but nothing too deeply. Like I played a bunch of No Man's Sky, and I finally finished The Witness.
Yep.
Which is I like, it's really fun. Like, but also okay. So where I left off, actually, this was annoying. I had to look up the answer to 2 puzzles. Because I left off at a point where there's a series of puzzles, and the last 2 are like building upon this like series. And where I left off was right at this point where I'm supposed to build on, previous knowledge. And then coming back after like 6 months of not playing, I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I
you had to play through all of them,
I mucked
all the
around. Yeah, I tried playing through them all again. I was just like, I'm just going to look up the answers to these 2. But those are the only 2 I looked up answers to. But
it's funny because I suspect if you hadn't done it, you'd be like, okay, I'll try these earlier ones to remind myself.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know how to do these. I'll go a few steps back. And you'd eventually find yourself in the first puzzle in the game.
Yeah,
going,
you just keep going back. You go, all right,
I'm
here we
ready
go.
to learn.
Here we go. I do that with what's it called? Kerbal Space Program. You've played that, right?
Yes.
Well, I'll go through phases where I'll play that hardcore and make some wacky, like crazy spaceship with a million different like stages and stuff, and then I'll not play for like a year, and then I'll come back and be like, oh yeah, I'll get back to this, and I'll load up my spaceship and go, what the hell is happening here? And I have to relearn, basically to be like, all right, I have to start all over because I have to relearn everything to get to that point again.
It's like sometimes I read a book or something and I put the book down for a while,
Yeah.
and I forget where I'm up to. I find the chapter, like I remember
Yeah.
reading this paragraph, and so I'm up to here, but I don't remember what's happened. I'll go a chapter back. This doesn't sound familiar. I'll go further back. Okay, I'm starting the book again.
Dude, I do that with whole like book series because like I'll listen to there's a book series I'm looking forward to again. It's a series called The Expanse. It's got a sci-fi channel show based on it now as well.
Okay.
But that's up to book 6, I think, and the last book came out like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that I remember like the main beats, but I have a feeling I'll jump in there and be like, who are these characters again?
Right.
What's happening?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's happened over Christmas with games, what we've been playing this year. But also let's first of all talk about like the Nintendo Switch announcement stuff. I don't know how do you
had
describe
some
it?
sort of
They had like
show.
a press conference style presentation thing where they showed a bunch of software and stuff. And the two most important ones, in my opinion, were Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild. I am firmly in the that looks awesome camp. I'm still very skeptical about the Switch as a piece of hardware. I was talking to people at work about this. It feels like it is stuck between like mobile game device and console with the awkwardness of both and not necessarily the strength of both. You're going to be dealing with like kind of a short battery life, not super amazing graphics. It looks a bit unwieldy to really bring around with you. It's like kind of the size of an iPad, maybe even a little bigger. So there's like issues there that I don't see solutions for. So I'm a bit skeptical about the hardware, but those games look fantastic. Now, Saveun is rubbing his chin maniacally.
Whoa!
I know you're in a different camp. You looked at Mario, you went, "This is dumb."
I'll just briefly touch over why it's annoying, but it's because it's cool that Nintendo's gone back into open worlds. This is cool. I think that's a good.
You say going back into them.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time had open world stuff.
Yeah, Hyrule Field was sort of an early open world area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo were the pioneers. So like this is they should be, if they continued on that path, they should be the leaders. They should be and I thought of them like that growing up on them.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Wii came out and then it's just been a tailspin. A 2-generation tailspin.
Yeah.
But so like it's cool to see Mario doing this open. I'm not even sure like what kind of gameplay they offer around
right.
that. I'm interested to see more. I won't be playing it or anything, but it's cool to see games doing that. And there is one company that does it well, and I'm just going to follow
Nintendo.
And I'm just going to follow.
Let's move on.
I'm just going to follow that one company until they are surpassed by another.
Here's the thing, though. I think that your desires about what constitutes an open world game are different to mine.
Okay.
What you're looking for is realism and detail, and you want to feel as much like a real world as possible, regardless of how like feature empty it is. I think to some extent. Like, for example, GTA, the GTA 5's sort of LA clone is very, very good. Like, there are areas that are recognizably from LA. And it's eerie how similar they are to the real life thing. But, like, those buildings are functionally just set decoration. You can't go into most of the, like, 99% of the structures in that game.
Sure.
Whereas, and I don't think like the Mario game, you can go inside those buildings, but you can interact with so much stuff from the looks of things. Like
what do you interact? Like jump on top of, climb? Yes, these are like standard. Like these are
but
normal.
not
things.
just that, but that they are designed with you traversing them in mind, which isn't necessarily the case in GTA. Like you can get on top of the roofs of buildings by like jumping out of a helicopter or whatever, but there's nothing up there. Whereas I think it's going to be different from what I've seen, where it's like not only will there be stuff up there, you're encouraged to do crazy stuff to get to these places.
Well, that was like how it was in N64.
Yeah,
So
Mario 64
haven't-
had lots of little hidden secrets.
Like I haven't played a Mario game really since then. But that open world style where like, oh man, if you like see something, you're like, I wonder if I can get up there,
Right.
And then you do, and you're like, oh shit, there's like a thing up here or something. There's like a star or whatever.
I played Super Mario Galaxy 2 a year ago, and we got all the stars. And then there's like green stars, which are like, once you've done all the official stars,
Yeah.
there are just stars in hard to reach places.
Right.
And where they really test your ability to sort of maneuver Mario and exploit the terrain and things. And there's an incentive for it. There are stars in these weird places, which was amazing to me. It was like, oh, I didn't even think about going over here, but it's getting over there is really hard, but I know how to do it. And
Dude, there was something in Mario 64 that I didn't even know about until years and years later.
Yeah?
Half A jump.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
that video is, I love that video.
But isn't Yoshi on top of the castle?
Yeah.
What?
And you can go up there. And I was like, what?
Not only that,
Can you jump on? Like, can you ride Yoshi?
no.
What do you do with Yoshi?
You talk to him and he gives you 99 lives.
Right.
And there's also a wing cap on top of the castle. So
That
you
just
can,
blew my mind. I was like, Yoshi is
fly-
in this game?
yeah, you can fly around the whole entire like intro area.
Yeah.
Not only that, there were some like weird bugs up there that I don't really know
Yeah?
why they encouraged you to go up there and then didn't fix these bugs. But there's like there's this big vertical tower thing.
Yeah.
Where on certain sides of it you could just walk up them. Like you could just walk up the
weird.
vertical tower, get out on top of the like
Yeah.
top tower bit, and then fall through the wall
Oh my God.
behind the door that you go through to enter the castle.
Yeah.
And then when you try and go through that door from the other side,
Yeah.
you appear inside the castle on the other side of the entrance door in this black room.
Oh, weird. Weird.
It's so funny. And so yeah,
There's some
so
kind of speedrun thing.
there's no reason to go
Nah.
there. You know, it doesn't get you anywhere faster
Yeah.
other than a place where there's nothing there. But it's so funny that just exists. And
Wow.
they encourage you to go up there, and there's just weird bugs.
And then I heard Luigi is in it. Once you finish, you can play again as Luigi.
Mario 64?
Yeah.
No.
This is what I heard.
I've never heard of that.
I've never seen it, though.
I don't know what to say. Like,
Maybe I was just watching a screen where someone had shifted their color
I
to
had
green.
heard there was weird stuff if you managed to get all 120 stars without ever saving. And
Oh, man.
like if
Okay.
you did it in a single session, I heard there was something.
Wow.
I never really investigated it. Though.
Jeez. The traversal stuff that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Man, like, I think of Tomb Raider and how they would put these dumb puzzles in front of you.
Sure.
Like, they'd put these hand grips around this thing just to make it that much longer.
Oh,
I don't
yep.
care for that kind of stuff.
I don't think this is the same though.
No, I know it won't be.
This is like it's not like there's a climb here signal necessarily. It's just that Mario is such a mobile character that he can jump and
Hey
climb
man,
on stuff.
I love how he jumps and jump ropes.
Yep, you love,
How he
you love them.
jumps.
You love them jumps.
he jumped
He
ropes.
was originally called Jumpman, so
Yeah, like that's cool. I love how he moves, even though it's not like a physically based animation system. It's fine.
he's a cartoon man.
I could hear the like kind of toying of hate there.
But I heard Blake chuckling. We watched the trailer just before.
Yeah.
There was a scene where these two office ladies are like holding
rope.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
They're just
threw
skip
me
rope
out.
thing,
That weirded
and
me out.
Why?
What is going on?
Because
there?
Mario is this cartoon character, big nose, big hands,
Yeah.
and they've got regular ass looking
Yeah,
people.
I love it.
Just walking around. I'm like, this is jarring. he's a monster in this world.
That's what I love about it. He's so different, and they don't care.
But the thing is also like the Peach and the other princesses are all normal looking people.
They're not. But they're not really. They're normaler.
They're normaler, but like
Mario's a real weird looking dude.
yeah, Mario's just like this freak man. Like,
I mean, look at Wario though. Like Wario in that world would be absolutely abhorrent. But I kind of like that it feels very and I mentioned this earlier before the podcast, it feels like Last Action Hero. Where he's like stepped out of a video game into the real world.
And I was fully saying that it reminded me a lot of the Mario Brothers movie.
Is that basically what I don't think I've ever seen that.
It just I don't
I've heard bad things
Oh yeah.
about it.
Oh, you should watch it.
Okay.
You love The Room, you'll love this.
Okay. Good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know, just him running around the real world for some reason, just especially like a New York City looking thing.
Yeah.
Like just reminded me so much of that movie.
Mm. It's basically, I mean, that Mario game looks like a sort of like a ninja based game, where it's just like crazy moves and super fast, but Mario is a ninja. Really.
Okay. He's
exciting to me.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Like I don't know. It's just jarring to me that he's in like a more real world. But when he's running around, because it shows, when he's running around the fantasy world.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is his natural environment.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a monster freak dude in this.
I love that
He just looks like a regular person. Like he just looked normal.
But I love that they didn't make a bunch of Mario-ish humans.
Yeah, maybe that is
because that would have been. I think that to me would have been weirder because
Yeah, but it's like the mushroom
toadstool world. Where
no, but the Mushroom Kingdom is advanced technologically. So there's it's a New York Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, maybe
like in the movie.
I think didn't Sonic Adventure do something similar where they were like real people and then Sonic?
Oh man, I don't know.
Jeez. This
No,
sounds
Sonic
familiar.
has always the cartoon Sonic has always had, like Dr. Robotnik is a real person.
No, he's a quote unquote real person.
He's a real person.
I'm sorry, Blake. I have to break it to you. He's not.
Next you'll be telling me Dr. Eggman is not real.
They're the same person.
Wait, what?
I think it's Sonic Adventure 2. You're running around like a city, right? I don't remember any people, but I remember the cars.
Yeah, but that's sort of set in a weird furry world where you like
where it's like people and hedgehogs.
Yeah, it's like
exist.
Did you ever watch Dragon Ball or early Dragon Ball Z? And there's just like animal people walking around.
No.
Yeah, there's animal.
But there's
people
like
walking
Mr.
around.
Popo. Mr. Popo's real weird looking.
Bit racial there, isn't it?
Yeah, that too.
It's like, oh man.
Oh.
No, he's a weird looking dude.
It was a different time. Different time.
He is a weird looking dude.
What about Zelda?
Oh, so yeah, that game just looks fantastic. This is another situation where it's like the open world isn't just there to like create distance for you to travel and make it feel immersive, which that's part of the appeal, right? But it's also that it provides for very interesting challenges and open solutions to those challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that GTA's world is always beautiful, and it is like complex and it's impressive from a technological standpoint with like the cars and the people and all the behaviors and all the stuff that gets generated and all the stuff that's handcrafted. But your interactivity in that world is limited. If you crash a car into a building, the building doesn't you don't punch a hole in that building.
Unless it's in a cutscene.
Yeah. Right.
But Zelda won't be doing anything new in that way.
For
they'll
example,
have scripted moments too. It's the same thing. They'll put you in these
there'll be
linear, those moments. It'll be the same thing. It's framed the same way. It just looks like that.
You don't like the aesthetic of it. It's much simpler looking. It's cartoony. But I think
What
you're
does
wrong.
that look, Blake?
I was gonna say, if you want a more realistic looking Zelda game, I've got a game for you.
Oh, what are you thinking?
Have you heard of a game called The Witcher? Have you heard about Geralt?
I think that you're wrong about it being entirely scripted. So there's I've seen a demo where there's like something out on a river.
Mm-hmm.
It's just out in the middle of the river, and there are a few ways to get to it. You could like find high ground and then glide over to it, Or you could chop down a tree further up the river and push the log into the river and watch the log drift down and get caught on rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's interesting to me. That is you physically affecting the world to solve problems,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that you don't often see.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's my argument for being excited for it.
I don't want to take anything away from you. It's just
Uh-huh.
yeah, we look for different things in games.
Yeah, it's true.
Obviously.
You look for the dumb things, and I look for the best things.
Oh.
Kidding.
I think
No.
the only bummer is that I'd have to buy a Switch to play these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, maybe in a few years I'll be at the point where, all these Nintendo exclusives
Mm-hmm.
is worth it. But right now, it's just 2 games, and I don't think it's worth the price.
Right now, to me, it looks like a tablet without the flexibility of a tablet. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to open up a browser. And
Yeah, I
Google
wouldn't.
Stuff
I wouldn't play it as a tablet. I'll play it
or
on
write a
TV.
document or draw on it necessarily.
Mm.
Who knows what it comes with? But it's not going to have like Windows OS.
There's a, I think Wii U, like talking about tablet stuff, they have a drawful type game, I think,
Okay.
where you have like a few, oh geez, I don't know. You have a phrase or something, and you draw it, and then you upload it to like a server, and then people try to guess what
that's
it is, and then you get
Oh,
points.
how
or
rapidly did that thing get filled with dongs though?
something. I think they have a dong filter.
Okay.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know. But and then it shows like it says like how long the person took to draw it, I think, and I think the faster you draw it, the like more points you'll get if people get it right or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. I watched a video of some people
Playing it.
like sort of playing it, but just like bringing up the stuff and guessing.
Right. That sounds fun.
I don't like what they're doing with the Switch with that. The gimmick is I couldn't care for that.
I'm in the same boat. My excitement for the Switch is limited, but and mostly stems from the software on it. I know Nintendo makes amazing games. That's the only reason I have even
I mean, it would.
a slight interest in it.
I like their ambition for sure. Like if you had the ability to, if you could play Uncharted, and then be like, all right, I got to go on the train, and then you pull out a thing, and it's flawlessly perfect Uncharted. That's amazing.
I would never do that. Even if I could do it, I wouldn't do it
Is Uncharted? You wouldn't do that to Uncharted.
because of the neighborhood I live in.
Oh, shit. Whoa.
No, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
When I'm out, I'm doing out stuff.
Yeah.
I
You don't want to be
wouldn't.
playing Uncharted.
Yeah, I
What
would
about on,
hate
like,
to
a
just
plane?
damage it as well on a plane.
Yeah. What about in like situations where you have to wait in a location for a while, or you're going somewhere where you're not physically driving or whatever?
If I'm doing like a long haul flight,
Yeah.
the movies are okay because I'm so out of the loop with movies. I can just like
You're just gonna play a game in a movie theater.
what
What are you talking about?
in a long haul flight.
Oh, okay. Gee,
You
I
wait,
checked out of that
just like,
conversation.
wait, what?
He checked out. It was like,
I thought you were talking
this
about
isn't
like,
about me.
oh
I'm
yeah,
okay.
movies. I'll just
I'm
check
okay.
out of a movie and
Jeez.
just pull out.
Yeah, I'm okay with just watching movies. Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to take precious things on with me. I would just take bare minimum. I just want to get in, get out. I'm that when it comes to
yeah,
flying.
fair enough. The battery life is a concern for me. I don't see it lasting for more than a few hours.
Mhm.
And for a mobile thing, that's not great.
Mhm.
And like the inflexibility of it. If it was basically a dedicated gaming device that also had like good computer functions, like word processing and internet browser and all this other stuff.
Like a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a keyboard.
but like a laptop that had like fantastic game controllers and software to back it up. Sure. And a good battery life if
Yeah.
it had a great battery life. But right now, to me, it's like it's not a tablet and it's not a phone and it's not a console and it's not it's okay. What is it?
And it's
though?
not really the best of any of those. It's just okay at
Yeah.
kind of all of them.
So it's maybe we're gonna be proved wrong. It's awesome. But,
Yeah.
I'm hoping for that, Nick.
Me too.
I would love to see this Mario game and that hat ends up becoming something nuts. You know,
I'm excited for
hoping
that.
something
That
cool.
hat does look nuts. You can jump on a hat.
You can throw a hat and jump
You
on
can
it.
throw a hat and jump on it.
Mhm.
Where's GTA's hat, huh?
They've got hats. You can shoot a guy.
And
his
jump
hat-
on 'em.
and that hat will just like fly off of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Man.
Well, I'm on board then.
it's so
It's
so
going to
real.
just depend on their games, right? That's ultimately it. Like,
Mhm.
if they've got awesome ass games,
And
then
they're-
people will buy it.
And they're like, I think they've shot themselves in the foot again. We were talking about that earlier. Like, yes, it's Nintendo games,
Yep.
and Skyrim, but outside of that, like, where are these modern games coming out? Like, you know,
Yeah.
You want to see an Uncharted on there. You want...
well,
is-
well, just a third-party game, like a current third-party game. I'm
Mm.
interested as to what that would be.
Like, it is cool that they've got Skyrim on there, but, like, that's an old game.
That was 2011 or 10
Yeah.
or something. So
And even though it is, I'm pretty... Like, it's got to be the enhanced
the
edition.
HD.
Yeah. Even so,
yeah,
that's an old game.
it's a problem.
That's like being like, hey, we got Mass Effect 2 on the Switch.
Right. The problem is, current developers are developing their games for, like, the kind of graphics that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are capable of putting out.
Mm.
They're not developing games for the graphical capabilities of the Switch, which I suspect are lower. And that means, like, when you're a software developer, you aren't gonna spend the resources making your game look worse.
Mm.
You know, it's troubling.
Man, do you think that Nintendo should be really trying to get indies involved?
I yes,
That-
I do
that
think they
seem-
should be doing that, but they have real bad policies for indies. You
Yeah.
have to have. I'm trying to remember because I remember we looked into this years ago when I was working at a bad indie. You had to have been in that office for like 3 years and have proof of that, and you had to have like specific security, like
Right.
set up for protecting
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
the debug kit if they were going to send one to
Mm.
so that you could publish your game on the console.
Jeez.
And it's just like the requirements for indies are unbelievably hard to read.
I think they could end up being a pretty strong, almost like powerhouse for indies. Like,
oh yeah,
with their...
they could. They're just
yeah, they just don't...
they're Nintendo's probably the worst at managing like third party stuff.
Mm.
I mean, even when people are showing off Nintendo games on YouTube,
Yeah.
they're like claiming copyright.
They show...
Don't play our game. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Don't show people.
This-
Don't have a good time and show it to people.
They're so protective. It's like, it's such a... I don't know.
It's like an old mindset.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's like,
It's not
what?
even-
People are viewing something for free?
It's not even an old mindset because like shareware was a thing back in the day. Like it was encouraged that you shared
Yeah.
demos and stuff. It's like a
I guess the...
draconian mindset. It's weird.
Yeah, I guess the fear is that, like, oh, these people are going to just watch someone play through Zelda and not want to play it because
Right.
they've just seen it all, so why would you want to play it? Like,
So what
well,
we're
that's
gonna do
just-
is prevent them from seeing it. That way they'll buy it. What?
Yeah.
No one's gonna buy it then. No one even knows what it is.
People have gotten, like, there was a few podcasts I used to listen to and that had, like, YouTube versions of their podcast, and they would show trailers of, because they'd be talking about games like we are, and they'd just show, you know, here's the Mario trailer, check it out, and they'd get copywritten for it, and it's like, we're showing the trailer that you guys put
so
out,
dumb.
but they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So they just stopped covering, like, Nintendo games.
I was actually watching a documentary about like pro Smash Brothers players last night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Not the one you're thinking of, because there's multiple. This is
Oh, really?
There are multiple Smash Brothers documentary series. It struck me as weird that like there's a very large community of like pro Smash Brother fans. If Nintendo provided support for those fans,
Mm.
that could be like a quite a big thing.
Yeah.
Because Melee is like well respected amongst gamers. It's one of the like most creative fighting games out there. The things you can do in that game are
Mm.
unparalleled. And if there was support from Nintendo for tournaments and promotion and prizes,
Mm.
that could be like a legitimate esport or whatever. But Nintendo just doesn't do that sort of thing.
No.
And that's very frustrating. Like they could re-release Melee on the Switch if they gave tournament support, and that would probably net them a lot of money. But
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
weird.
it-
They're just not aware
They're
or like
focused
don't-
on it being. They're just so insular. You know, they don't care about the community. It's bad news.
And that was talking about being insular. That's like when they released that Breath of the Wild trailer, and their whole thing of being open world was like, look at that mountain, you couldn't go there. Anywhere you see, you can go. It's like these are the exact same things like people said 10 years ago when open world became a thing, and like you're talking about it as if it's like this revolution.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're behind the ball as far as PR goes. Like they're way behind.
Yeah.
But their games are just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. I wanted to talk about a game real quick.
Yeah.
A game I've been playing for about a week or two. I've just had so much fun with it, and I just wanted to like more or less promote it because it's just so good. It's called.
It's not a Nintendo game, is it? They'll shut us down.
It's called Mario. It's called Solitairica.
Yeah.
Just it's spelled solitaire, and then you add ICA at the end of it.
Do you want to put a link on Facebook to it? Are you that into it?
Yeah, you should probably. Yeah,
Yep.
we should link to the developers page. Anyway, it's basically a solitaire, like roguelike RPG.
Wow.
And that sounds dumb, and I was kind of like, oh, I'll give this a shot. It's probably going to be dumb, but I started playing it, and I was like, this is pretty fun. And then the more I played, I'm like, this is great. There's like so much depth here. It has classes, and the classes all feel distinct. It has spells and items. It's got enemies with mods, and like there's like interesting difficulty combinations. You feel really like an achievement when you beat it. It's just so much fun, and it like for $5 or whatever you unlock everything.
Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
And it's yeah. And it's well worth it. Like it's one of the best mobile games I think I've ever played. It's so good.
Jeez.
So Solitairic,
I think I kind of prefer. I mean, I definitely prefer that sort of microtransaction to the nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
Clash of
Yeah,
Clash Royale style.
The uncapped, like you can put as much money as you
You're
want.
like, this is free, and if you really like it, you're basically giving them money
Yeah.
for supporting them, and you just get everything. They're not holding anything back, kind of thing.
With
They're not
Solitairica, for free you get the warrior class,
right?
and like I think all of the items and stuff are available.
Yep.
And you can play the warrior class as much as you want,
Mm-hmm.
and then to unlock the ability to unlock the other classes,
Oh, right.
you pay money.
Yeah.
There's like you pay money to just be able to use the in-game currency to unlock the classes.
Oh,
Once,
okay.
Once that money is paid,
Yeah, that's it.
that is available,
Yeah.
and it's
That's cool.
that layer is a bit weird because
Right.
it feels like you're paying for things twice. But you're only. But I was just like, you know what, screw it.
Yeah. You like it enough.
I did like it enough, and I actually had fun unlocking the other classes.
It's cool. It's like because some games have the light version, and then you can go and buy it's like that, but all in one.
Yeah, it was really that game is really solid. So it's also on Steam, and it's like twice the price on Steam, and apparently. When you're playing it on Steam, it looks like you're playing it on the phone because of the way the screen is laid out.
I don't like games that do that.
Portrait mode.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Huge envelopes.
Yeah, it's. I would probably advise that you get it on phone. Apparently, on iPhone, it drains battery like nothing else because it's running on Unreal.
Wow. This sounds like
Really,
a pretty
you showed
good
me
game.
that game. I had no idea that was running on Unreal.
Yeah, a lot of the assets are 3D.
Huh.
But you don't really realize.
I didn't even notice that.
It's really it's good looking as well.
Yeah, no, it was pretty legit.
Have you seen it?
No, I want to see it now.
Okay, I'll show you after this.
It doesn't look like an Unreal game.
Oh yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean,
It really doesn't.
What you were
said
thinking,
Solitaire, I was
forget
like-
about it.
Yeah, well, when you said Solitaire, I'm like, cards. Like, where are the... Where's the card
There's no
element?
maps on
Yes.
on the cards.
What I really love about it is the scope is pretty small, but they get a lot out of it. There are like a bunch of items, a bunch of spells.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like 2D artwork and a lot of like little modular things, but other than the core gameplay loop, there's nothing else. And the core gameplay loop is super, super, super polished. And like we were talking about our character builds at work for a solitaire game. That's crazy to me. Like,
There's more people playing it at work?
yeah, so I got Carl and Mark, the
Okay.
programmer, started playing him. And
Yep.
they were both like talking about the strategies to me, and I'm a bit of a Zen master at it now.
You're like the mobile game herald or something at work. Like people get into like Clash Royale and other games. Like you seem to be the one that comes in and is like, "Have you heard the good news about this mobile game?"
Proselytizing.
Yeah.
Clash Royale. I think Carl suggested that to me.
Right. Okay.
Or
I thought
maybe
you were the big guy for that. Or you became the big guy.
Or maybe
for that.
I randomly tried it.
Yeah.
And then Carl said, "Oh yeah, I've been playing it," or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But he was on that earlier than I was.
Right.
Yeah. But this one I'm definitely the front runner of.
Yeah.
And I want to get the word out there because it's super super good.
Yeah.
And it's the studio's first game. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have questions?
We have a question. Yeah. So if you have a question, try that again. If you have a question, you can email frontseatquestions@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at frontseatcast. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/frontseatcast. Our WordPress site is frontseatgamer.wordpress.com. You can rate us on iTunes, and you can tell your friends about us. We love it. We've had some people who told us that they told their friends, and we really appreciate that. We like to read out the questions on here and answer them. We've got a question. This one's from Dougal. He wants us to make some YouTube videos, I assume specifically of Saveun playing games that we think he'll hate.
Yeah, we can talk about this more.
I think
Blake's got a shit-eating grin on his
Gonna
face.
happen.
what I actually think, I want to get you to play a game like Samroast 3, which is really beautiful, but not the sort of game structure I think you would ordinarily play.
Man, I've got to put some rules in for what qualifies as a game I want to look at.
Rockstar.
But that
Only made by
very
Rockstar.
much runs against the point of this. Saveun.
No, I know. Damn it.
Well, we won't. The thing is, we won't ask you to play games that we don't like. I think that's going to be the thing.
All right.
Like we're not going to be like, "Hey, man, Desert Bus Simulator, play that."
Yep.
the Penn and Teller game.
Yeah,
do they still do that annual charity
I think
thing?
they do. Yeah,
So good. I love it. Desert Bus of Hope, I think is what it's called.
man, it's pretty good.
He also said he liked my interview with Waba, which was one of the Path of Exile YouTubers.
I got a funny thing about that.
Yeah?
I heard. Actually, maybe it was that person that sent it. I can't remember. But somebody messaged us about it, and then I also heard the same thing from several people at work who also listen to the podcast, who were saying that reading that interview from you,
Yeah.
they could hear your
Hear my
voice in their heads.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That's cool.
Yeah.
That means I'm writing well.
It means you're in people's heads.
Yeah. It means I write the way I talk, and that's
Yeah.
always a good goal. So he's got a question. As game developers, what is our favorite thing the community has done, and what is our least favorite? Do either you want to get this started?
I'm a big fan of seeing the fan art stuff coming.
Yeah?
I saw that some guy made one of the hammers.
Yeah,
freaking
the
metal-
Milner. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We just had is that from the recent one? Yeah, I missed that.
Blake,
I
what
didn't-
the-
The
get-
talent
yeah.
competition this time, the scope, like basically, I don't think there were many limits as far as what could constitute a talent. So many submissions, and so many of them were so good. Really, really
Dude,
impressive
it's getting
stuff.
better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because early on, I remember just looking at like fan art for Diablo 3 and just being like, oh man, man.
Hey, we got our first ever fan art.
Oh, front seat
Yeah.
game?
Oh yeah, you
That
mean
was-
really?
Someone sent in a. It's on our Facebook.
No.
Did we post it
I
on the
didn't
Facebook
put it
page?
on the Facebook.
We'll post it on the Facebook page.
Okay.
This
Is it awesome?
We'll show it later. It's our first ever fan art. You know what?
It's-
It's not up to the Path of Exile talent competition level, in my opinion. But it's pretty
Hey,
close.
hey, we'll get there.
Pretty close.
It's to do. I mean, you saw it. It's to do with the Seven Gates special that we.
It involves a medicine ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
It's
pretty
pretty
funny.
awesome.
I think it's awesome. It's actually really awesome that someone
Yeah.
took the time to do that. Like, it's,
Even if it wasn't a huge amount of
yeah,
time.
even if it was
The
like
fact
5
that
minutes,
they
5
thought it-
seconds.
I
like,
loved it. So
it's
good.
great, yeah.
It's so great.
More like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Wait, the question was what cool
What's
things have-
our favorite and least favorite thing the community's done?
community's been really good.
Yeah.
Like we get pizza and stuff sent to the office.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's legit, man. It's just awesome. Like getting some love
Yeah.
from the community.
Yeah. So it's always nice to feel appreciated.
My favorite thing from the community was when they a listener who I don't have their name, but they sent cakes to work.
The narco
but one of them said narcoberry cakes will put hair on your chest, which is a reference to an episode on the podcast, and I was stoked.
Yeah,
That's like the
yeah,
best
that was
thing
awesome.
that
Wait,
ever happened.
what?
Yeah,
You don't remember that?
I sent you.
No.
Oh,
Did
I put it on the Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah.
What?
I told you about. You forget things.
I do forget things.
Yeah, but yeah, that was like the best thing ever.
Things all the time. Least favorite? That's a tricky one.
Man,
There's always like some toxic comments and stuff, and some vitriol directed at specific people.
yeah.
Often me.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the community can be the best and the worst at times.
Yeah.
Nothing specific comes my way.
Yeah. I don't think we've only ever had love from our podcast community, which is great.
Yeah, it's because the people that didn't like it just stopped listening. That's
Yep.
what I think.
Well, yeah. Why would you listen to something you hate?
Yeah, why would you say
I hate this every week.
this guy
An
again?
hour of this.
I wish this was I wish I was listening to a different podcast.
I wish I was dead. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any specific bad thing the community's
Yeah.
done that we can point to. There's just occasionally, there's rough comments and stuff.
We had a bomb threat in the building that I thought was
Oh,
from
you
the
thought from a
community.
fan? No,
But it wasn't.
Don't give them ideas, man.
Yeah, don't give them ideas. But
don't do
I,
that,
I,
it's
that
felony.
happened, and I was like, oh man, because it was around some.
But that was like one of the other officers.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't us at all. It had nothing to do with us. But I was just like, oh no, have we pissed off someone too much?
Yeah.
We changed broken someone's build or something, and there, because you hear about these things from other, places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The SWAT thing.
Oh yeah, swatting or whatever.
You hear
it's
about
called.
that stuff,
That
and it's
stuff's
just
crazy.
Yeah.
In the U.S. especially, that'd be very scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
They shoot
community's
first
cool.
and ask questions later.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Good community broadly.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything like bad.
I mean, I can think of lots of bad things,
But only like
it's-
negative
it's-
comments. But that's
yeah.
like, people have opinions and sometimes they're negative. It's fine. It's not like,
I mean, also like I see stuff like people love making like fake unique items,
right.
and I have a fairly good understanding of what we can and can't do and what we should and shouldn't do, and that's not always the same with our players. And so you see like unique items that just can't or shouldn't ever
yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
But that's just them sort of fantasizing, and that's not like a bad thing. That just means they're having fun thinking about the game.
Yeah.
So.
But the hate, it's never really bad, is it?
It can get pretty bad.
What I mean is, like-
I've had a lot directed at me specifically.
But these are just
Yeah,
fans.
sorry about that.
These are just fans of Path of Exile, right?
Yes, but they will single out people who they think are hurting the game.
Sure. Well, that's normal.
Yeah,
That's normal for like anything. Remember Diablo 3 was all blamed on
Jay Wilson.
yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they find a name,
Yeah.
they can people just make assumptions that that's the
That's why my life
demon.
goal is to never stand out. Never
Yep.
stand out of the crowd.
working.
Good thing you
Definitely
started
working.
this podcast.
You don't know what my real name is.
All right, I think that's all we have time for. We'll be back in a couple weeks. I
Yeah.
think. I'm not sure if I'll be there. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Either way, there's probably going to be a podcast.
We might we might be trying to get Chris H on, who did the Xbox.
Oh yeah, he worked a whole bunch on that.
Worked a lot on the
he's
Xbox
one
stuff.
of the main people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you've got questions, send them in for him.
We might not be able to
You-
answer
you-
stuff.
Yeah, we
for-
probably
for
there'll
another
definitely
couple
be
weeks.
stuff we can't answer, but we'll pick what we can, and
Okay.
we'll talk to the big boss Chris about what we can and cannot say. So
The final boss.
yeah, the final. Yeah, we'll face the final boss and
Yep.
see what we can do.
Get your logout macro ready.
Yep. Just disconnect the internet.
I would love. Wouldn't it be great if you could do that in real life? Like you're in an awkward conversation, you just disconnect.
You
pop out.
can sort of, but it's a more permanent
run away.
solution.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we'd love hearing from you.
Yeah.
Leave us some comments and questions. We really appreciate you, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah, awesome.
Bye.
Yeah. Imagine this conundrum, Nick. You're a father.
Yeah.
You've got a young Nick.
Surprise.
Nick Jr. And he wants to play on the Switch.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey Nick, you're a businessman. You're a businessman."
Why did I
now,
call
okay?"
him? I wouldn't have called him Nick. That's a weird thing.
No,
to
this
do.
is the. I thought this was the
What's
kid
the
talking to you,
hypothetical, right?
saying, "Hey, Nick."
Yeah. The kid's saying, "Hey Nick,
He's not.
I want to play on the
We're on a
Switch."
first name basis. He's not calling me Dad.
And-
Hey, Mr.
and
Colin.
then-
Gee Willikers.
But he asked for your phone.
Okay.
That this is your thing.
Yeah.
Right? How do you feel about it?
I say, what for?
You're like, motherfucker.
I,
This is my cell phone. I'm playing
okay.
Morty's.
You describe
Morty whatever.
everything you've
Little-
said
little
about my
Morty.
theoretical child makes it sound like you think children are strangers.
Like, see, it's a completely foreign concept to me. I don't know what's going on with kids.
It's rapidly becoming apparent.